Well, I missed you, my sleepless nightmares, as I lay awake at night. My mind is endlessly racing.
Hey everyone, welcome to Metal Never Dies. Here's my top 10 albums of 2024. Number 10, I have Cantrell, I Want Blood. This is his fourth studio album. This was released on October 18th, and it's self-released, bringing that trademark Alice in Chains vibe to his solo album this time, and I really dig it. The last album, back in 2021, was more of a country-sounding rock album, I guess you could say. And he does bring some special guests on here, like Rob from Metallica playing bass, and then Duff from Guns N' Roses. He's playing bass on a few tracks as well. Some killer tracks on here are Vilified, Off the Rails, Let It Lie, Held Your Tongue. In the last track, It Comes. It's just a great doomy track to end the album. I do have the CD right here. Pretty cool. Got like fish hooks making the J and the C for Jerry Cantrell. There's the back of it. Next time I have here, number 9, I have Nut Rot, Lifeless Birth. This was released on April 12th on Taint Crime Records. This is an Oakland death metal band releasing their third studio album, just relentless death metal, cavernous production, which was recorded by Greg Wilkinson from Autopsy. I mean, that's who you want recording your death metal tracks and your death metal albums. Go to that guy, Greg Wilkinson. He never misses. You have the 3 guys in the band. You have Lucas Indrado on here, Chad Gailey on here, and Sonny Ramhart on here as well. Every song on here is a banger. Here's the album of it. I wanted to get the vinyl of this because I really love the gold. I might still end up picking it up. Some killer tracks on here that I really loved were Cut the Cord, Lifeless Birth, Superior, Drill the Skull, Winds of Hell, another killer track on here. They're all bangers. Dead Memories is another killer track to Chris. It's all bangers. All those songs are, man. But yeah, I made it my number 9. Like, I played the crap out of this album. Next album I have here, this might surprise some people. I don't know if I could peek it. That's right. Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere. This was released on October 4th on Century Media. I knew it was going to take me a while to get into this album. I didn't like it at first. And then I just kept on listening to it, and then it just came back into me. It just came back to me. I would get some pieces here and there, and then I would just be totally like into it. I'm like really into this album. Yeah, it just took some time. It really took some time to me to get into this. Maybe some more lessons will probably would have climbed higher. And first off, it's just incredible songwriting. You have to listen to the album, I think, as a whole. The riff at the end of Message 1, like, it just made me a fan. Yeah, which track is that? I don't know. But yeah, Message 1 just made me a fan of this album. The balance of like death metal and like 70s prog fusion is just perfect on here. Like I was saying, the album just grew on me more and more. The riffs, the melodies would stick in my head. And next thing you know, I'll be humming some tracks or some kind of melody or something. I'll be humming it, and then I will go back to it. Go back to it. Go listen to some more. There's some stuff that I think there's some stuff like I kind of felt a little bit bored, but not really. Like after I got into it a lot more. Yeah. Either way, it made me a fan. Like, do I have to be in the mood? I think I kind of have to be in the mood for it when I want to chill. But the death metal and the 70s prog just made me a fan. So yeah, number 8 I have Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere. Number 7 I have Kerry King, From Hell I Rise. This was released on May 17th on Reigning Phoenix Music. So yeah, Kerry King's got a band now. after Slayer. He's also got Mark from Death Angel with him. Phil Demo on guitars, who's ex Machine Head, ex Violence as well. You got Kyle Standers on bass, and then you have Paul Bostaph. Everybody should know who Paul Bostaph is. On drums, I think Mark, the vocalist here, is the MVP on this album. I think he really killed it on here. It does have that more extreme thrash style to his vocals, and he has used that style in Death Angel and some of the songs before. A lot of people saying that this is like that he's copying Tom Araya. There are some vocal patterns, I guess you could say, that kind of sound like that, but like Kerry King does write the lyrics. Kerry King, I think, wrote the vocal patterns. Like he said that he kind of sang it and stuff like that when he was doing the songwriting. So yeah, you will get some of those Tom Araya moments on here, which I'm a fan of. I really don't care. I mean, if it's going to sound like Slayer, yeah, like I wanted to sound like Slayer. It's kind of like what I wanted. This is unrelenting thrash metal album from start to finish. The drums are amazing. Paul Bostaph is one of my favorite drummers. He is my favorite thrash metal drummer. I'm gonna say that right now. Phil Demo adds something different to the solos, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I just think this is a fucking great album, to be honest. I don't really care for the artwork very much, but I think songwriting wise, like, I don't know, man, it's what I wanted. Yeah, there is some Slayer vibes, especially from the last album on here. I think it's like a mix between God Hates Us All and Relentless, like their last Slayer album. It's kind of like a mixture of those two, I feel, with some awesome vocals. Yeah, so number 7, I have Kerry King, From Hell I Rise. Number 6, I have Legends. The Legends of all legends, I think. Judas Priest, Invincible Shield. Everybody should have this album in their collection now. This was released on May 6th on Epic Records. This is the 19th studio album by these metal legends. Well, Rob Halford sounds great on here. It's just unbelievable just how good he sounds. Like it's just unbelievable. This was produced by Andy Sneap, who helps on touring, touring as well. You got Glenn Tipton and Richie Faulkner on guitars, and the guitar riffing and the guitar solos are fantastic on this album. It's just metal through and through. Like, you'll be playing air guitar, no problem. Ian Hill on bass, and then Scott Travis on drums. Both are doing a big up job on this album. Judas Priest is just holding up the metal flag with songs like Panic Attack, The Serpent and the King, Invincible Shield, Devil in Disguise, As God Is My Witness, Sons of Thunder, Giants in the Sky. It almost made my top 5 albums of the year. I thought this was going to be in my top 5. Like, to be honest, I thought this was going to be in my top 5. But one album I kind of snuck into the top 3 there. So here's my top 5 albums now. Number 5, I have Skarlet Remains, Fragments of the Ageless. This was released on March 8th on Century Media. This is a brutal, technical death metal album. They are tighter, more vicious than ever on this album. This is like the album that Morbid Angel never gave us. And you know what? Skarlet Remains gave us this album. You have Chris Monroe, who sounds devastating on this album with his death metal screams and his guitar playing. This is darker, more in your face, just breaking the edge of brutality compared to their previous records. Again, just a brutal album. Like, look at this cover. Pretty sick cover. I really like the green in there and the orange. Everything just really pops. You know, just killer artwork as well. like the whole thing. Like I love to see how the vinyl looks. Like I said, I went more with CDs this year, just because vinyl's crazy expensive. Killer tracks on here are Relentless Appetite, To Conquer Thee, The Vault, Forever in Sufferance is amazing, and Verminous Embodiment is another killer track, and Unmerciful is another killer track on this album. So number 5, I have Skarlet Remains, Fragments of the Ageless. Number 4, and this might surprise some people, because I wasn't really into this band. I wasn't into this band at all. And that's Nile. The Underworld Awaits Us All. Kind of surprised me how much I really liked this album. Just legends, man. These guys are just the federal legends up there. Killer album. So this was released on August 23rd on Napalm Records. We have Carl Sanders, guitarist and vocals. He also the producer of this album. We got Dan Van Dim Von, bassist and vocalist. We got Zach Jetter on vocals and guitar as well. So many vocalists. Brian Kensland on vocals and guitars and vocals. And the drummer of the year, George Colsis. Insane drumming throughout. Just check out the opening drum roll in the opening track. 3 ripping guitarists with riffs and solos galore. No wonder this album is like so bonkers. Like so much going on. Intense, technical, brutal, chaotic, death metal. But yet it's catchy at the same time. So if you haven't checked out this album, which you have. You guys have. Number 4, Nile. The Underworld Awaits Us All. Number 3. I surprised some people, I don't know. But I love this band. Yes. Suicidal Angel. Profane Prayer. This was released on March 1st on Nuclear Blast. Thrash Metal Ban from Greece. These guys sound like they came out of the late 80s, early 90s with their thrash metal sound. This is just a banger of an album. Modern day thrash metal. Just a masterpiece, I think. The opening track, When the Lions Die, sets the tone on this album. The pace on this album. Crypts of Madness. Purified by Fire. Death Stalker. Profane Prayer, the title track. The Return of the Reaper. Simple, but it's catchy and it's good. Guard of the Insane. Virtues of Destruction. And the epic closer on this album. The Fire, Paths of Faith. I think this is a thrasher piece of an album. I love it from beginning, start to finish. I thought this was going to be my number 1 album of the year. But I have another one that's before it. Number 2. I have Boom. Job for a Cowboy. Moon Healer. 10 years after the last released Sun Eater, Job for a Cowboy releases their follow-up album, Moon Healer. And it's just a perfect follow-up album to that Sun Eater. This was released on February 23rd on Metal Blade. This is the band's 5th studio album, produced by Jason Sukoff, artwork by Tony Cole. Just a modern day progressive death metal masterpiece, I think. Every song flows into one another perfectly. It's complex, technical riffing, and there's a mix, and it's mixed really well with groove. It just grooves really well, this album. There's some bangers on this album. They're all bangers, I think. The song gave me the ashes to I Shunt Out the Moon. And then the Into the Crystalline Crypts is just another killer track. And then the Forever Rod, another killer track. This whole album just bangs. So throw away that metalcore garbage or whatever you thought about this band. Never call them Job for a Cowgirl ever again. This is awesome. Awesome modern day progressive death metal album. Done. And the number 1 album, and this one surprised me how much I love this album. And I wasn't a fan of this band either, and I wasn't even a big fan of it when I first heard this album. Opeth. Yeah, this made me a fan of the band. Everything just kicks ass on this album. Opeth, The Last Will and Testament, the band's 14th studio album, released on November 22nd on Rainy Phoenix. This is just a masterpiece. Outstanding songwriting and musicianship. If Queen was a death metal band, this is what it would sound like. If you have to listen to it, I mean, I think you have to listen to this album as a whole, and just chilling on your couch with your headphones on, just enjoying the ride. This is a theatrical musical journey. Michael Oakefeld is just, he's the best vocalist. Simply the best vocalist. Whether he's singing or screaming, doing the death growls, just the best. It's just a great mix of singing and death growls on here. I think it's just perfect what he did. The drummer is fantastic. He has a crazy name. I'm terrible with names, as you guys know. He's probably the close second best drummer, or drummer of the year, I guess you could say, because I picked Niall's drummer as drummer of the year. You know, everything is just phenomenal on this album. Just a journey from beginning to end. I loved it more and more. That's my top 10 albums of 2024. Let me know what you think. Just a quick recap. We got Cantrell, Neck Rot. And then I went with Blood Incantation. And then I went with Kerry King. Then I went with number 6, Judas Priest. And then number 5, Skarlet Remains. Number 4, Niall. Number 3, Suicidal Angels. Number 2, Job for a Cowboy. Number 1, Opeth. I should have got the vinyl to finish it off with the vinyl. But okay, that's alright. Remember, everybody, metal never dies. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.